Hi friends, it's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning. In today's video, we're going to talk about some activities that I've been doing recently with my students. And these are fun activities you could do with pre-K or kindergarten. We're going to talk about an addition activity, so it's going to be math, and we're also going to talk about a phonics activity. But before we get to our two brand new activities, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I was just doing before I started filming this video. So I'm going to put these new activities that we're going to go over off to the side, and I'm going to show you what I was working on. So what I was doing is I was prepping activities for my students. Now I just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about this today. I know those of you who have been following me on my channel for a long time know kind of how I prep activities for my students, but this is always a great review. It's kind of like looking into, teacher prep 101. This is how I prep my activities, but you may do yours differently. But it's always fun to hear and see what other teachers are doing, what other homeschool moms are doing, to kind of get ideas. So what I have here is a bin. Now, again, those of you who have been watching my videos know that I keep my activities in these clipped bins with labels on them, and I keep them according to either like a theme or a skill. So it might be like geometry or a unit of study. Okay, so like my phonics units, I might have a unit on diphthongs or a unit on short vowels, things like that. This particular bin, obviously, as you can see, says fall and Thanksgiving. So when I'm filming this video, we just finished Halloween, and here in the States, our next biggest holiday coming up is Thanksgiving. So this bin is kind of all of the activities that you might do in the fall time. Now, when I am going through my bins, first of all, these activities, I have accumulated them over the years. Okay, so that's why my bin is overflowing, because when I first originally made this bin, I did not have this many activities, okay? So I've been accumulating them over the years. These are all hands-on activities for them to do to reinforce skills and concepts that we are learning. Now, one thing you might do, you might not have this many activities already ready for your students to do and be able to just have at your fingertips. If that is the case, is you might be going on the internet and you might be searching for different activities that you can use with your students. Now, I'm going to go through these. Some of these we just finished and I just kind of threw them on the top. So the things that we just finished, I'm going to take out, but I am going to go through because I know there are some fun Thanksgiving activities like this one I see here I can definitely use with my preschoolers. So I'm going to take this one out. Like, this is a fun missing letter activity, and it's a Thanksgiving theme, so I'm going to take that one out. And again, I'll leave links below to these activities, so I won't make you sit here and watch me go through all of these, but just think about your students, think about what they need as you are planning out, okay, what hands-on activities are we going to do for the next couple of weeks. All right, so there you go. I'm going to go through these activities later, but the rest of this video, I'm going to show you the two brand new activities that I created for my students. So let me move this out of the way. Okay, this first activity I'd like to share with you is called Phoneme Pumpkins. And this activity is going to be an activity that helps students work on sounding out. So they're saying each sound of every letter in the word, and then they're going to blend it and put it all together, okay? So they're separating each phoneme, saying the sounds, and then blending it, putting it together. So this is definitely a great skill for beginning learning how to read, right? These are the very first initial skills that you need to be able to do. You need to be able to say the sounds of each letter and then blend those sounds together. Okay, so each of these pumpkins has a picture on it, and that is going to be the word that the students are going to try to sound out, okay? Now, the three circles are for the three letters in the word, and let me show you exactly what they're going to do. So what you want to do is you want to have some sort of manipulative for your students. Now, since these are pumpkins, I actually have here some tiny little pumpkins. These are not erasers, but you could get like pumpkin erasers. You don't have to have pumpkin themed. You could just use anything. You could use let's see, you could use little counting bears that I have here. Okay, you could use little pom-poms, you could just use whatever you have laying around. Okay, little toys, little balls. But I'm going to use these pumpkins. And then what you do is, actually I'm going to put the pumpkins down here, and I only need 3 of them. So let me take some of these away. Okay, these are my pumpkins, and this is my card. Now I did this activity with my students already the other day. And so if I have I think I might have a quick video clip of them working on this. If I do, I will insert it in this video so you can just kind of see some students working on it. It was my preschoolers working on it, but this activity is also great, would be great for kindergarten, for intervention groups. I know when I was doing intervention for 1st grade, when I was a classroom teacher, this would have been a great activity at the beginning of the year for 1st grade. For those intervention kids that were struggling. So here's how you do it. So they're going to put a pumpkin in each circle for each sound as they say it. So this is a picture of a net. So they're going to do n, t, net, net. Okay, I make them do 3 steps when we sound out words. Let me go back and just discuss those 3 steps for you. I know I've done this a million times in different videos, but I always have new visitors to my channel, so let me go through it. The first thing is to say each sound. So again, n, t. Okay, you separate each phoneme, you say each sound separately. Then you're going to blend those sounds together. So I take my finger and I slide it across the arrow, reminding myself to blend each of those sounds. Net. And my last thing is to say the whole word just like you would if you were speaking. Net. Okay, so it's, say each sound. N, t, net, net. Okay, so you want them to be able to sound out each letter. Okay, now the other step that we did with this activity is because my students are kind of a little bit past just sounding it out, they actually know the letter that represents the sound. So I grabbed some magnetic letters and I had them, after they did the sounding out with the little pumpkins, then I had them actually find the magnetic letters and spell out the word. So n, t. Okay, so my preschoolers were able to then find the magnetic letter that matched the sound, and we placed it on our pumpkins. Okay, so that's it. And then they would just, they kept going and they were doing more pumpkins. This one's men. Okay, cat. They're all CVC words. Okay, consonant, vowel, consonant words. 10. Can, you get the idea. Oh, and something else quickly I wanted to show you before we get into the math activity is I paired up that phoneme pumpkin activity with these. These are from my Phonics for Reading curriculum. I have an entire phonics curriculum that I wrote. And these are from the 2nd unit on short vowels, and so they are kind of like the pumpkins, except for they have the word separated into boxes. They show the student if it's a tall letter or a medium letter, or like in this word, it's tall, medium, or a bottom letter, okay? So here's the word dog, and then they would put D-O-G in here for dog. Okay, so the same day that we did those pumpkins, we also did these cards from my 2nd unit, and they're the same thing. They all have CVC words on them. Okay, this next activity I have for you is a math activity. I have not done this activity with my students yet. I created it, but I haven't done it with them yet. So I'm super excited because my 3-year-old is so ready for addition. He actually kind of already sort of understands the concept, but I want to formally introduce it to him. And I do have a math curriculum. It's called Early Learners Math Curriculum. And we have not done any of the addition unit with him yet because, again, he's only 3. But he sees I have a special needs student as well, who a special needs 6-year-old. And he's doing that. And so my 3-year-old is just like way into it. So I'm going to do this activity with my special needs kiddo, and then also with my 3-year-old. So I'm sure that they will enjoy getting their hands on all of this stuff. I also have in there, I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'm sure they'll be somewhere around too as we're doing this. But those 2 in particular are the students that I'm thinking of using this with. And that just shows you, as I'm talking to you right now, how you can use these activities, even though an activity might say this is for preschool, or this is for kindergarten, or this is for 1st grade. You know your students, right? And if I'm talking to a mom, you know your children, okay? And so you know where they are at. And it doesn't matter their age. I've always been a strong supporter of the fact that all of our children are different, right? God creates us all uniquely and different, and we all need different things. You know, some of us learn really quickly or learn visually. Some of us learn auditorially, and some of us need extra help in certain areas, but we're really great in other things. So don't fret like, oh, my child's, 7 and no. If your child needs this and needs a concrete way of seeing math, then do this with your 7-year-old. It doesn't matter, okay? So whether they're, 2 or 10, if they need a concrete example of addition, then this would be a great activity to do with them, okay? So don't always fret. I know a lot of teachers and parents fret about their age and where they should be. Just show, and they'll show growth if you meet them where they are and then move on, okay? So that's my little talk today. All right. Okay, so for this activity, you need some counting bears, okay? I know most of you teachers have counting bears. So for this activity, usually most of my activities I say, oh, you could use any manipulative you want. But for this one, I specifically made it to use with counting bears. So you kind of want to get a set of these. They're pretty cheap, and I will leave a link below to my Amazon affiliate store. I believe I have a set in there that you could pick up if you don't have a set, but most of you guys, I think, probably already do. So this activity comes with an accounting mat. It comes with these number cards. If you don't want to use the number cards and you already have a set of like numbers like I do right here, these are magnetic numbers and things. If you already have a set of numbers, you can use those. But if you don't, then you can print off the number cards and use these. And then it also comes with, the cards. Okay, so these are the bear cards. And then always all of my activities come with the direction card, and I print my direction card on label paper and then I put it on the front, and so that is what I did with this bag here, as you can see. Okay, that way I never forget what the activity is, and I always am ready to go. All right, so let me move that off to the side. Okay, so what you want to do, this comes with a whole bunch of different addition cards. You want to take a card. Let's start with something super easy. Let's say we're kind of just introducing addition to, say, a really brand new kid just learning addition. Okay, so let's grab like one of the easiest cards I could find, okay? And you want to place it on the mat in the corresponding spot where it fits, okay? So I'm going to place it in the top part of my mat. Now, you want your students to take their bears and correspond 1 to 1. So they're going to count 1 to 1. 1, 2. Okay, 2 red bears. And then let's correspond blue. 1 blue bear. Okay, now let's count them all together. 1, 2, 3. All right. So they are seeing visually, and they're using their bears to see the numbers visually. But then we're going to teach them how to match up what they see to an actual numeral representation. So how many red bears do we have? 1, 2. We have 2. Can you find the number 2? All right, so you can use your manipulative 2s, or you can use the cutouts that come with. So I'm going to use this. So I found a 2, and then how many blue bears did we count? We counted 1. Can you find a 1? Okay, have them place it in. So now they're seeing how to actually make a number sentence, make an equation. All right, now remember we counted them all together. How many was that? Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 altogether, so we will put a 3 here. Can you find a 3? And they'll do that, and then you can go over the number sentence with them. 2 bears plus, this is plus, 1 bear equals, this is equals 3. And that's literally how I introduce addition to my students. And then this particular activity just helps me to do that, okay? I have lots of other activities kind of like this in my math curriculum. This is just a newer one that I specifically made to work with our counting bears, because I know a lot of you guys have counting bears and it just is a little bit easier that way. So here's another example. If you're wondering where I got these numbers from, these are from a Melissa and Doug clock puzzle, which I absolutely love because we're always practicing telling our time with it. But it also is awesome because if you take the pieces out, you can use them for activities such as this. Okay, friends, this is the last activity I had to show you. I am so glad that you came along for this adventure with me today, and I hope that you will check out other videos on my channel. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in any of these activities for your students, check out the links below in the description box, and we'll see you next time. Bye.